Woo! There's a little bit of technical difficulties. I finally got Mr. Brown on. Judge Joe. We're about to get into this. My eyes red. The hookah's been going. Let me how you doing, Mr. Brown?
I'll do all right, young man.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen. I got my 4th of July margarita. And I got my hookah.
There you go. You ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock. It's good to have you back, man. I appreciate you giving me your time again. And
How they do it? Two thumbs up. Well, here you go. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. There you go. 2 thumbs up.
Hold on. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, there you go. 2 thumbs up.
Okay. Listen here. I've been on these margaritas. I can't catch up with you right now.
I hear you. You got a lot of people trying to support you. I'm putting together a brain trust. You have a rocket engineer, rocket scientist, astrophysicist. They want to back you up.
Well, see, I got to be
trying to take your thing over, but just back you up.
Well, see,
so
I got to get
like what you're doing.
I got to get around some people like you that can give me a little more guidance because things been getting a little spooky behind the scenes, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. It's kind of hard to trust, when so many people coming at me in so many different ways.
Hey, you got another good sister, Angela Stanton King, wants to talk with you.
Okay.
You need to talk with her.
I've been trying to. I saw her. I think she was under my Instagram. I need to reach out through her Instagram. See if I
she just got through contacting me. Said, please drop the 411 to the good brother that I would love to get with him.
Well, you got the number.
I'll give her your number.
Yeah, we'll do something tomorrow.
And there's a Dr. Green and a Dr. Lucy. NASA.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me. Yeah.
There's some deep brothers. I mean, they got street cred too.
Okay.
So it's interesting. You'll find it a different kind of thing.
Well, I tell you what,
and they're more radical than most too.
Well, I need to get everybody you said on, and I just knock it off one by one. We'll start with Angela and go down.
I'm an old man. I ain't got that much time. I don't know how much longer I'll be breathing.
Oh no, you still ticking, man.
We trying to turn it over to you young folk, so you can get it going on. But not too many of you young folk got it up here.
Right.
And don't have it here either.
Right.
But you do. So I like that.
Thank you. Well, see, it took, men like yourself who helped raise me. You know what I'm saying? It was men like you that wasn't afraid to talk. I was raised around men with 3 or 4 trades, and I watched men, they didn't get fired from a job. They walked off and got a job right across the street because they were talented and they had skills.
There you go.
Yeah, they didn't take the disrespect, and so that's why I try to teach these young boys. But we're here because Bill Cosby got out of jail, and I saw you on a couple other interviews, and I was with the whole movement at first because I heard about the whole NBC thing. Can you first explain why he got out of jail and how he got out of jail?
Okay, I've been saying since day one, they never should have prosecuted him because first off, this woman that was the complainant in this criminal case filed a civil lawsuit. So Cosby's lawyer said, Fifth Amendment, you have a right to be free from self-incrimination. Anything you say can and will be used in evidence against you. Now, in a civil suit, you can be compelled to give a statement. In a criminal one, you can't. So the DA issued a letter which said basically, our detectives have investigated this. We find the witnesses are not credible. There is little to their story. There is very little, if anything, that could result in a credible prosecution. Therefore, we are declining to go forward, and Mr. Cosby has no further liability. The civil judge said, all right, you have to give these answers during these interrogatories and these depositions. So essentially what happened was he said, yeah, they wanted drugs. I gave them drugs, but I didn't take advantage of them. They wanted them. It was like, hey, bring on the drugs in the BBC. You know what that means, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
BBC.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna say it on
Bring
YouTube.
on the drugs and the big black cock. That's what we want. Then when they get old, it becomes rape. So they're groupies. Sex, drug, and rock and roll, sex, drugs, and basketball, baseball, football, TV, movies, politics, you name it. You have groupies for it.
And
They
that's
go in
important.
there and they
Can
want the
you can,
blow and the alcohol, and then they get naked and screw everybody in the hallways and in the bathrooms. I don't know what these women were doing, but some of them, they were on the circuit. So
can you expound on the sex, drugs, and rock and roll part? Because
back
I
in the
talked to
70s and the
yeah.
80s, that's where it was. Women were liberated. They had the pill.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they'd come into a Hollywood party and it'd be see-through, no bra. A few minutes later, no top. A few minutes later, no bottom either. And then you'd run into them. They'd be doing dudes off in the hall closets and in the bathrooms and on the coats, on the beds, in the bedrooms, and just work around it. 3 or 4 days later, they're back at another party. That's what they did.
So could somebody of this generation that don't understand that sex liberation thing that you guys went through, could the behavior back then stand now?
They wouldn't recognize it. The brothers today ain't getting laid. They ain't getting no ass. Right now, even the black ones, there are more boy virgins 25 and under than there are girl virgins. They ain't getting any ass. And
Yeah.
16% of that age group is off into the LGBTQ thing. For the 55 and older, it's about 1.5 to a little less than 2. For the country as a whole, it's about 5.56. And by the way, that nonsense about supported by science, that's crap. It's not. People that support it in science are practitioners. So they
Mm-hmm.
do the 6B routine: unbelt, drop breeches, drop boxers, bend, spread butt cheeks, get banged. They get initiated. I mean, get the freak on. That's their business. It's legal. But, when they start transcending social and political boundaries, then you can push back, but they think you're not supposed to. So
Yeah.
they got colored folk out there that want to jump on Mr. Cosby. What about these girls? What about them? Well, too damn bad. Under American law, if you accuse somebody, you're assumed to be making a false accusation unless you can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
So there was no due process. It was so egregious that never should have gone to prosecution. In fact, they ought to discipline the prosecutor that proceeded. I think they might. And
Why do you say that?
well, I assume he went to law school if he is a member of somebody's bar. And I do recall law school giving a focus on the Fifth Amendment and the right to be free from self-incrimination. So
Okay.
prosecutors are not just to get convictions, they're to administer justice. So this second prosecutor, he just wanted mob justice, mob rule. And for a black person to support that nonsense, oh, that's straight up and down. That's Emmett Till country right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Emmett Till
in
country. Why do you
50
say that?
years I've been doing this, I don't know how many injustices I've had to correct because of somebody's emotionalism wanting to get in the way of justice.
Right. So why do you think a prosecutor would be emotional and want to prosecute Mr. Cosby the way that he did?
Because he hung his hat on that hashtag Me Too stuff.
Mm-hmm. And what is this
Anytime
about?
you get a cause that's emotionally driven, you're
Mm-hmm.
getting into this bad territory.
Mm-hmm. So what does this talk about NBC and all this stuff? Because we got a lot of
Well,
conspiracy theories.
1992, Cosby, according to FTC, got together the financial package to acquire NBC.
Okay.
That got beat down. 2011, he put the package back together to acquire NBC.
Okay.
And see, it wouldn't have been an own thing like Oprah. It would have been a conscientious network that would be doing some good stuff. Cosby was about that. And some people today want to confuse ethics and morality with sexual activity. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And sex then, I mean, walk into a Burger King, Tommy Burgers in LA or something, and Fat Burgers or something. You walk in, hey babe, what's up? You want some dessert there? Yes, I would. How about if I was on the dessert menu? That'd be great. You got a car? Yeah. Big back seat? Yeah. You gonna be around in 25 minutes? Yeah. Well, I'm going on my break. Why don't you come back and get me? So you just order dessert off of the menu. That casual.
What a time
Sex
to be
is
alive.
about as casual as asking a woman that you already knew to dance with at a house party.
So what's wrong with these boys today? Why they got to spend so much money on it then?
They ain't getting the schooling. I
Man,
mean,
that's
it like a bunch of us old guys were sitting at this pub nearby before COVID hit. And there was some young men sitting at another table, and the young guys wanted to know why us old guys were laughing.
mm-hmm.
And we were saying we're laughing because you're tallying up your score in life. And everybody at this table used to have a bigger score per week than you getting in your whole life. Like, what's wrong with you?
Man. So what would you say to the people that's the naysayers that's going to say, "Oh, he's insensitive.
Well,
He's
I am a
not worried
running
about the
man.
women."
I think
Uh-huh.
I've talked to about 3,700 people in the last 3 days. I know a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's expressed anything negative except on that show with what's his name, the person that tried to ambush me.
Yeah, Lamont Hill said something
That's
negative.
his name, Lamont Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, he said something negative, and then some guy who booted you off the show. It's like they bring you on to disrespect you. I don't get it.
They didn't boot me off the show. I told them I had to go. Bye, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'll whip you up on your own show. Don't you feel embarrassed?
yeah. They try to overtalk you and cut you off. It's like, what's the point of bringing you on when they know what they get?
Let me give you another thing on that. When they had me call in, I said, I'm getting very low audio. I can hardly hear you. So I was having to lean over like that to hear them. So they were trying to do that, and I kind of exaggerated. I could hear them, but they were trying to make it low so there would be a delay in a response, or they could do that. So they were trying. I know what they're doing. I've been about it a lot longer than they have. So,
Right, right.
you know. I'm a grown man. I didn't go into this trying to deal with make believe and fantasy. I had a real world career. So I was in my 50s before I got discovered. Hey.
Yeah.
So it was funny to me. I said, oh, lightweight here. I said, but the position is it's untenable because you're going to say it's more important to deal with somebody's emotional needs than it is with justice. And that's not going to work.
Why are we moving in that direction of feelings though? What's that all about?
Because that's what they're about. See, they don't understand duty, honor, obligation, accountability, responsibility, getting up every damn day when you don't feel like doing anything,
Mm-hmm.
saying, oh shit, I might have to die behind this, but I got to do what I got to do. They don't get that.
Yeah.
See, they don't want to be boys, so they want to be girls.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be girls, so they want to be boys. They hate what they are and hate what they want to be. But
Mm-hmm.
you see, you and I, we deal with this thing about these are our obligations, our manly responsibilities. There's no
That's all
getting
I know.
around.
Yeah, that's all I know. Feel better this way.
It
To me,
does, doesn't it?
to me it do.
And you know what? It takes a lot.
Yeah,
Be on that
you don't
boat.
get flowers. You don't get flowers
Because it
like
takes a lot to be on that boat. And the
absolutely.
Titanic is going down in the
Hmm.
icy water in the
Hmm.
North Atlantic. And you
Hmm.
got to say, ma'am, take my seat. You and your child. I will drown. You get saved. See, it takes a lot to do that.
What would these young boys do now?
They'd be trying to go down to uh, the mall area of the boat and buy some dresses and some high heels, trying to sneak on.
Would they get a
Uh,
seat up, or would they try to get on the boat?
no, they'd be trying to sneak on. I'm a lady. You need to know. Take his ass over there on the other side of the ship and throw him to the sharks. Oh, I forgot. It's too cold for the sharks. But something's liable to be over there. Make an ice cube out of him.
Man, it's getting crazy. It's definitely getting crazy. But what do we do to change it? I'm talking about.
Embarrass the hell out of him. It's got to be. Look, you punk ass. Well, you sissified punk. Where in the hell have you been? Man, the hell up, dude.
That's what I'm
Ain't
telling
like
you.
you got
So
cojones,
bringing
man.
shame
Ball.
back. Bring the
Yeah,
shame back.
yeah. All this, oh, shame. You can't shame anybody. Like hell, shame is good.
Yeah.
It gets people embarrassed into acting like they're supposed to. We need more of it.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's a good idea. But what do you do when the media is pumping? You know,
Shame them.
I say, well, that's what I do. But
You
I
know,
say,
look, man, you've been into that 6B thing. Unbelted, dropped your britches, dropped your boxes, you bent over, spread your butt cheeks, and got banged. Don't you say shit to me.
oh,
Look, it's all right if it feels good to you. Just
yeah,
understand, most of us don't play that shit. But you
right.
like it, get your freak on in your bedroom. But when you
That's
try
what I
to
try to
do
say.
it out of the bedroom, you on your own.
Right. So, what do you
Mhm.
say to the people that want to speak like me and you, but company policy? To me, I've been saying on my podcast that company policy that can get you fired over your opinion
You should
is the
sue the hell out of them. It's called
right. It's the
Title
most
7.
un-American thing I've ever heard of.
Title 7. Sue them.
Right. People are getting fired in America because of their opinion, which is not a fact. Everyone should be able to state their opinion.
Sounds like violation of your civil rights to me.
I mean, where are these civil rights attorneys that fight for people's rights that should do
Uh,
it pro bono?
B6. They unbelted. They dropped britches, dropped boxes. They bent, spread butt cheeks, and got banged.
Because you would think that would be the easiest thing in the world, that we all can see now that so many people want to state their opinion. And you can say what you want, but company policy says if you do, you're fired. You
They
lost
have to
your pension,
show a
everything.
connection.
Right.
And the other thing too is, if see, the Supreme Court has long said statistics can be used to prove a case. Let's really get into it. How many on your side? How many on our side?
Mm-hmm.
And there's many more on our side. They lie about it. They tell everybody, oh, everybody. No, everybody doesn't. It's
Mm-hmm.
just 4 or 5% that buy into that poison, and that's because they 6Bs, unbelt, drop britches, drop boxes, bend. I mean,
Man,
get the freak on, but the rest of us aren't into it.
man. So it seems like that comes up in every situation. It's like, have you seen what's going on with brother Chauncey Billups? Well, Chauncey Billups he was a basketball player, won a championship with the Detroit Pistons, and then he put a run in to be the head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers. He won the job over a woman. Forgot her name. Wow. I don't know why I forgot her name. Everybody's been saying her name. Somebody else called it out in the comment section. But they wanted this woman to be the head coach, and he got the job over her. So next thing you know, they brought up some sexual allegation about him that happened when he was 18 or 19 that he wasn't convicted on. Becky Hammond. He won the job over Becky Hammond. And they
Well,
made it. It seemed like they're making it a political thing now.
wait a minute. Let me ask you something. Don't they have WNBA?
Yeah,
Why didn't this woman go be a coach for WNBA?
because they want to make her the first woman's head coach.
Well, why do we need a first woman's head coach if she's not the best person for the job?
Well, they just want a woman's head coach. It seemed
Well,
like.
see, there you go. That's wrong.
Yeah, and they had to do this man like that. He won a championship in 2004, I think. He played for the Pistons. Nobody brought this up. The moment he won the head coaching job, him and Jason Kidd, they bring up these situations that they happen in their life that they've moved on from. Everybody moved on from. They bring it up in order to not get the job.
Well, you know what? Somebody needs to start applying American law. Say, prove it. Prove it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
And if
believe
you
all
can't
women.
prove it, shut up.
No, it's believe all women now. You gotta arrest
No,
people.
that's
Who they
not the
say.
way it goes. Women lie just like men.
Well, you would know more than us. How many situations you've seen where women have lied?
Oh, a whole bunch.
Hmm.
It's about equal between men and women. Folk will lie.
So is that why you look at it just based on law and not on the person?
Yeah, and human nature.
Right.
So when did you think human nature does not apply? It's like, okay, so you know what's wrong with this crowd? They
Mm-hmm.
forget one thing. Anytime you see a human, what are you looking at?
The way they look, their appearance, their
No, what are you looking at?
uh tell me, I don't know.
I'll be polite. You're looking at a successful screw.
Okay.
Every human you see is a successful fuck. And the bottom line is you either got birthed or you got hatched, you matured, you courted, you mated, you reproduced, you raised offspring, and then your ass died. And the
Yeah.
cycle keeps going on. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about. And when
Yeah.
they want to break out of the cycle, what's your purpose? So they don't like the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
See, humans have a methodology of courting.
Mm-hmm.
All animals have courtship. Birds,
Now they've been
cows, dogs, lions, leopards, tigers, wolves, hyenas, whales, all kinds of shit. Pigs, oink oink.
Hey, look at you see my new shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the go along, get along gang. We ain't mess with them.
Yeah, let's mess with them.
What do you think? Like, since so many people attack me, Dr. Boyce Watkins, this podcast, that podcast, and it seems like all the podcasts are connected to this guy, Charlemagne the Lesser Charge.
Charlemagne's an ass.
Right. Well, he throw ass all around the stage.
See, the real Charlemagne was reputed to be over 7 feet tall back in the 900s. He was a pathological madman. He liked to kill off people. And he was a Franco-German. So little bitty Charlemagne decides to name himself after an early equivalent to Adolf Hitler.
His white zaddy.
Something's a little wrong with you up here when there's a black person. You pick that person to name yourself out of. Charlemagne.
He sniffed seats. He sniffed chairs. He sniffed J-Lo chair after she got up. On national TV.
That's about the closest he'd ever get to it.
He told a 14-year-old, it was a 14-year-old group of rappers. It was 2 boys and like a girl. And he said, y'all can sneak up on the young lady while she changing her dressing room. And then DJ Envy said, you can pop out the closet and y'all can see her changing her clothes. Why would 2 men tell 14-year-old, 15-year-old kids that?
Because they don't know how to get laid. That's probably why they go to the gay side.
These 2 men married.
Most of them are. They swing.
Uh.
Not saying they do, but you know.
I ain't gonna saying they do, but they throwing bunkies around the stage, so we can assume based on what we
And
see.
see, that's not how you get over with a woman. Not even get over. That's not how you hook up with a woman. See, they don't even know how to do the courtship thing. Nobody told them.
Mm-hmm.
They have not gotten exposed to manhood. And then Charlemagne, that time, some people confronted him down on the sidewalk early one morning.
He took
And
off
he
running.
punked out, took off running.
He hit nobody. I'm ashamed to say he from Carolina. He went to school with my sister and my brother. That's what he say. We don't know his kind down where we from. That's not how we grew up. We go get
Gun belt,
somebody before we start running.
gun belt, drop
Yeah,
breeches, drop boxes, and bend.
yeah. We gonna fire off on somebody before we get to going. Now, if you got the advantage, we understand. We gonna get one of you. But what do you what do you think about the media? I've said on my podcast that the media, their job is to dox black men, like put an asterisk by their name to somehow lower their contracts, or somehow they can't seem to get to that next level to compete with white men. What do you
See,
think about that?
part of propaganda is to set up a visual image of what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So the media is just freaked out over straight black men
Wow. Why?
because we are their nightmare,
Mm-hmm.
masculinity. So they use us to paint the picture.
What picture?
Toxic masculinity.
That's just a made up word.
I know it is, but you see, they're trying to propagandize people into accepting it. So they pick black men and paint the picture with a black man, like poster child. What is the poster child of toxic masculinity? It's a black man,
Mm.
which is insulting to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I always assumed black women were beautiful, but now they want you to think otherwise and not say anything because you may shame them and hurt somebody's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, that's not my ideal fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And see, black women used to be sexy, but they had taste. Now they look slutty. Not all of them, but too many of them. That's
Yeah,
not sexy.
not all, because some of y'all now. But I understand what you're saying, because it seemed like they over sexualizing us. And I talked about the BET Awards with Lil Nas X, but I also talked about the women doing the same thing. I talked about the violence that we show to our black boys. We show a lot of penis, a lot of bunkies, a lot of violence, a lot of twerking, a lot of stuff that I just don't see anything positive coming out of. We tell them to look up the drug dealers. I just don't get it.
Okay, let me give you an example of how far it's gone wrong. Remember all of the hell that went on when Janet Jackson had that minor wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl?
Oh, they freaked out about that.
Now, how about
And I enjoyed it.
Lizzo?
I'm sorry. I
How
enjoyed it.
about Lizzo down on the floor with her bare, whatever you call it, down there, oil down, with
They
some
supported
dental
that.
floss, twerking on the floor of the Lakers, down at the Staples Center. What's that?
They supported that.
I know they did, but you see, for the same reasons they wanted to get on Janet Jackson, they ought to get on her. At least Janet Jackson looks good.
Hey, Janet, we love you, Janet. We love you.
Well, a woman wanting
That
to
is
talk to her.
crazy how they did the two stories, because they
Yeah, I
definitely
know, ain't
supported
it?
Lizzo.
And then look at Cardi B, which she says she used to sell her body to get what she wanted and
Hmm.
drug her tricks so she could rob them. So
Man,
what are Mr. Cosby's so-called victims doing but selling their bodies to get what they wanted
She's
And
not under
doing
investigation.
drugs, same way. But
Yeah.
it's wrong for Cosby to let them have what they wanted. It's okay for Cardi B to do it. So isn't
So
that
what
kind
do
of
you say? What do
isn't
you
that
say?
kind of hypocritical?
Yes, sir. So what do you say about the men that don't even mention Cardi B's name when she said the same thing on interviews as Bill Cosby and Charlamagne alleged?
Yeah. See, I have respect for my late mother. So if I gotta go along and endorse Cardi B, I'm talking about my mom.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, I've had some bad experiences with some women.
We all have.
Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but I love them.
Right.
But I'm not going to talk about them badly. But
Hmm.
sometimes I was enjoying the hell out of myself. So I
Hmm.
respect my black women. So I'm supposed to adopt that slutty attitude toward women and say that, okay, after I've been listening to the feminists talk about equality, and all of a sudden, whoa, they aren't equal. They have to be specially protected, like we've been saying all along. What is your problem?
Hmm.
Doesn't make sense to me unless you're a hypocrite.
So
But
let
oh,
me let
wow,
me ask you this. I say that people hide in certain groups so that they can display certain behavior. And then I also brought up a point when I was talking about the BET Awards is that during Gay Pride Week, they can walk around with the Johnsons hanging out. But if a heterosexual man or a group of men do that, we'll get arrested for indecent exposure. Why is that? Yeah, I mean, I'm asking you. You,
wrong.
I need to know why is that.
It's called hypocrisy. It's called hypocrisy.
So it's not all inclusive in equality like they've been telling
No,
us.
they don't want equality. They want equality when it is favorable, but not when it's unfavorable. See, they don't want to pay the dues. See, men and women are equally valuable, but where they're not equal because they do different things.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense to me. But what seemed to not make sense to me is that the behavior seems to be able to be pushed to a limit when you join a certain group that just goes past anyone's belief. I watched a man who said he was a gay man uh talk to another man on IG Live. This is on the internet. And he told him how big his penis was and he was licking his tongue out at him. And I said that behavior was inappropriate. I can't call up a famous woman on IG Live and start talking about how fat her vagina is and start licking my tongue out at her. They'll send the police to my house. He was able to do this type of behavior with no problem. And then he can turn around, he can call a woman a B word. And there was a video of the same guy throwing a drink in a woman's face. And he was awarded with a TV show after that. But then there was another guy that used to be a basketball player, and he threw a drink in his wife's face, or ex-wife at the time. I'm not sure, but he threw a drink in his wife or ex-wife's face, and he had to go to counseling. He was canceled. People was going crazy. This guy threw a drink in the face. He has a TV show. The behavior is different. I don't get it. Just because he changed the group.
Because that fool went and became an exemplar of the boogeyman, Baba Yaga, under John Wick. The black, super macho, chauvinistic man.
Mm-hmm.
See, the poster child for evil. And it's wrong. But
See,
nobody cares if we get upset, but they count on us being men and getting over this stuff. We
yeah,
don't get crippled. Oh my God, they just said something negative. I'm going to go kill myself. I'm all fucking freaked out. Hell.
yeah. Like, what is the protocol? I asked this on my live. I said, what is the protocol for men now? If we're walking around in society and a female aggress us, or if a homosexual person aggress us, anybody other than a male, what is our protocol? Do we just ball up and get in the fetal position? Because it
No, they
seems like
say,
niggas
punk
just want.
ass motherfucker, why don't you man up and go on code?
Mm-hmm.
Get your lame ass on code.
Because
Men don't act like this.
yeah, we get arrested. We get arrested every time. It just seems like they're putting laws in place to stop men from being men.
They are.
So what are we gonna do about it?
Rebel. Backlash.
How do we rebel as men? Because some of these men don't want to go to jail. How do they
Well,
rebel
point
as
is,
men?
well, see what you got to do. Let's start where it's noticeable. Just don't vote for the fucks anymore. Even if you know, even if there's nothing on the other side, just don't vote for them. Say you had your chance, you screwed it up. So I guess you won't miss your water till your well runs dry.
But see, what do you say to the men that's living off of these women? A lot of these men have been to jail. A lot of
Man the
these
fuck
men,
up.
but see, they don't have the opportunity as these women.
Well, you got to make them look lame.
Yeah.
Say,
What do you
look,
think?
man,
What do you think about the coding that I've been talking about putting in all schools and the trades that I was talking about putting in all schools? Do you
that's
think that
cool.
would help men?
That might. But you have to have men who have a work ethic who will take
Yeah.
advantage of it.
Yeah.
See, we got this thing, oh man, it's white supremacy, man. Ain't gonna make no difference, man. I'm just gonna get high, man. Play my video game. Fuck all that shit, man. It is useless, man. You can't get do nothing no way, man.
You can tell you've been out LA.
Say, boy, you need to be bitch slapped.
Exactly. Because I never felt like that. I always felt like I could do anything. My mom always talked positive to me. Like even if we was in the worst situation, she would always say positive stuff to me. So it just resonated like whatever situation I'm in, I can get out of it as long as I think positive.
Hang in there doing what you're doing. They're gonna try to test you and take you down. But you
Mm-hmm.
see, they aren't as strong as you are. They're punks. They'll go crying to somebody. Oh, he was mean to me. Oh, he shamed me. Oh, oh. Hey man, damn.
Hey, but listen, I've been what else they gonna do? I mean, they've been calling me a bust for 20 years. They've been messing with my family now. They
I
trying
know,
to
man.
find
But you see,
men, women. They try to find
you see,
anything.
you do the man thing. You're trying to do the father thing, the responsibility thing. They still want you to be, oh my God, the sacred idol of basketball. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like you can't play ball, but so many years of your life and most of your life is way beyond being able to play ball.
Right,
So what are you supposed to do? Deal with the real world or
right,
satisfy somebody's little particular fantasy?
right. They wanted to find people by a game or a job that was my job. It went from fun to my occupation. And you're gonna define me by a game?
They
And a
don't
lot of
get
these
it.
people don't even understand what's really going on. Like these guys, Stephen A. Smith, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard, all these guys have been put in place. They only talk negative on black athletes, and especially around their contract years.
And
These
don't
guys
they
go way
sound a
hard.
little sweet too?
Huh?
And don't they sound a little sweet too?
Oh, absolutely. Except Stephen A. Now, Stephen A. I just saw a video. My boy Self Talk. Shout out to Self Talk. He was trying to hit on another man's wife, coach of New York Knicks. I gotta, figure that out. But a lot of these guys, they were losers. Stephen A. Smith couldn't even get off the bench in college. He really had nothing going on, and this guy creates lanes of and the way he talk about UFC, the way he talk about basketball. These are things he could not do. Who would I? Who would I be if I start talking to you more about law, like I know more than you? and I've never practiced law. How could I get the respect of the people if I've never done it?
But you know what? If you had common sense, you might do a better job than a whole lot of lawyers I know.
Well, Stephen A. don't got no common sense.
That's it.
And I got to ask you one more thing. I brought up R. Kelly. I don't know the particulars of his case or anything like that, but now that we've been going down this rabbit hole of when men try to, get to a next level, and I've heard some whispers in the wind saying he was fighting to get his masters back, and I said, "Wow, if R. Kelly start owning all of his masters, this guy wrote and produced." And trapped in the closet, he wrote all his songs. Well, they said he couldn't read and write, but he like memorizes his songs, and he has a catalog that if this man was dead right now, God, not wishing that on anybody, if somebody can take his catalog and they own it, and he's out the way, you know how many millions and billions of dollars this guy would be worth with his catalog?
Yeah, a lot.
Could that
But
have something?
You know what? See, one thing we have to do, it's not all fun and games. When you're out there and there are a lot of zeros, you have to defend yourself and you have to put yourself in a position where you are accountable to what you are.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have a governor of Louisiana. He said, they're never going to keep me from getting reelected as long as they don't find me in bed with a live boy or a dead woman. They knew what he was about.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as he was acting consistently with that, he was defending himself. No, that's not what I do. Yeah, that is what I do. I admit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a herd bull. All the
Mm-hmm.
cows belong to me.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So basically you saying men should just walk in their truth.
Yeah. Like, I've never taken a bribe. I've chased a whole lot of nookie in life. I've been essentially, for most of my adult life, about the pursuit, acquisition, and enjoyment of nookie.
Woo! Say that one more time. What you said?
I have, for most of my adult life, I have been about the pursuit, acquisition, and enjoyment of nookie.
Bars. Mm-mm-mm.
I ain't gonna lie about it.
Ooh, oh. I
Never
can't say
raped
that.
anybody.
Right,
Always tried to get an invite back.
right.
Always tried to make it an art form.
Well, it seems like women are the new men now. They can get money and enjoy all the men they want. But if a man has his own money and has his own way, if he get out here in these streets and do what you're saying now, it seems like he's going to end up with a case. How can a man who wants to live a bachelor's life live? Is he going to have to record
Live
everything?
it. Just
Huh?
make sure. I have a rule. Don't screw anybody that you wouldn't be caught walking down the middle of Main Street at high noon with in front of all your friends.
Mm-hmm. So she got to look at, and she got to look and act a certain way. Yeah, okay. She got to have a little common sense.
Lot of sense.
Cause there's some of them plumb dumb now, Judge, but they fine. They plumb dumb, but
Well,
they
you
fine
see,
now.
there are a lot
It's
of
hard
fine
now. It's
smart
hard.
ones. There are a lot of fine smart ones too.
Oh yes, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. I don't know nothing about that though.
I know some of them. You know what I got to say on that? Old man here, I ain't as good as I used to be, but most of the time I'm better than I ever was.
Hello, hello. Hey man, listen. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. Like
Brother, I'm gonna have to check out because my throat is getting real
I
sore.
understand. That's why I say it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
But
Anytime you want to come back, you just let me know.
Angela Stanton King,
Okay.
Dr. Lucy, and
Text,
Dr. Green. They're trying to get with you. I'm gonna give
text,
them your numbers.
yeah, text me Angela's number or either give her mine. If you could text me hers, I'll text her tonight.
Okay. Uh,
Okay.
we're trying to put together a leadership cadre.
So let's do it. Let's
You
not
in it?
try. Let's
Okay,
do it.
we will do this.
Okay, yes, sir.
Up, and away. Man the hell up and do what you gotta do. And I'm out of here.
Salute
Let
to
me
you.
do this. There
Yes,
you
sir.
go.
Yes, sir.
I'm gone.
Man, that's how we do it. And if he texts me Miss Stanton number, I'll try to bring her on tonight. I'll sit here for a second and try to bring her on tonight. Maybe to keep somebody out the streets tonight. I don't know.